Hey BookTube, it's Angie from Angie Rose Nomad. So in case you didn't see my Sunday video, I have decided to, I guess, embrace the fact that I was sorted into Slytherin House. This was not okay. I'm a Hufflepuff and I have stuff to prove I'm a Hufflepuff. And I have the heart of a Hufflepuff. Deep down, I know the truth and you know the truth too. Stupid quizzes always lying. Inaccurate internet quizzes. So today's video is going to be me showing you guys the collection of Harry Potter books that I have. I would like to preface this video by saying that in no means am I trying to brag or show off that a lot of these books were collected over a very long amount of time. Some of them were gifts, and that I used to have a job that paid really well, that I was very unhappy at, and I bought books as a result of that. I bought a lot of books, not just Harry Potter, but a lot in general. So I'm going to start this video by showing you guys the books that I grew up reading. So the first book we have is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This was actually gifted to me by my grandfather. He found it at a flea market, and he was always going to them. It is inscribed to Jake Rook. He was always going to flea markets and finding us little trinkets and odds and ends. And one day he brought this book as well as the second book, which is The Chamber of Secrets, back. And these are not the first books of the Harry Potter series that I've read, but these two books will always be in this collection because it's just a way of remembering my grandpa. So then the third book is The Prisoner of Azkaban, one of my favorites because I'm partial to Sirius Black, who is one of the characters in this book. I wonder if I should tell you guys briefly what they're about. I think I might do it with a different edition. And then we have book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. They're starting to get bigger. They, in the movies, they don't follow the books, like books 1, 2, and 3, and movies 1, 2, and 3 kind of followed each other. They kind of start to deviate because there's so much book and so little time to do the movie, and they leave important stuff out, but that's neat. We're not focusing on that. All right, then book 5 is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Book 6, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And book 7 is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So I do have another paperback edition that I could not find in my closet. I'll be listing them here, showing you guys what they look like. I kind of wish that I read Harry Potter as an adult and came to the table as an adult with a fresh perspective, because I'm wondering if I would like it so much as I did when I was a kid, because I had basically grew up with these characters in this world, and I have just a strong attachment to this series. So I'm wondering what it would be like to read it as an adult, because I know several people never read the Harry Potter books, and I wonder what their take is now that they're reading them when they're older. So another paperback edition I have is this one, where they all form the shape of the Hogwarts castle on the spines. I don't think I have gotten to this edition quite yet though, because they're always so hard to take out of that box. All right, so the first one is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So for those of you who have never read Harry Potter, the first book follows the story of a boy named, I bet you can guess, it's Harry Potter. And he lives with his horrible aunt and uncle and their son, Dudley. And he's always been just this outcast in his own family. They treat him less than. So one day, Harry receives a letter. And it's addressed to him and even knows what room he sleeps in this house. And his uncle takes it away from him, but the letters keep coming. Now, the letters are inviting Harry to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You see, he didn't know he was a wizard. But unbeknownst to Harry, he is actually one of the most famous wizards. But his parents were actually murdered at the hands of the evil Lord Voldemort, who was once a very, very powerful wizard and struck a whole lot of fear into the wizarding world. So people already know him once he gets to Hogwarts, and this story is about finding who you really are and hope. There's a lot of hopefulness in Harry, I feel. And yeah, that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So the next one is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This continues into year 2 of Harry's time at Hogwarts. So in Hogwarts, you attend for 7 years, and then you graduate and you are an adult in the wizarding community by then. And Harry is just basically going through Hogwarts. He did have a brief confrontation with darkness in the first book. He doesn't really think anything else of it, and this is more of his adventures with Ron and Hermione. But things are happening at Hogwarts in this book. There is a Chamber of Secrets that has been opened, and the last time it was opened, I think it was about 50 years ago, a student was actually killed. So things are starting to happen. The chamber is opened, and students start to be found petrified. They are not dead. They are just kind of like in a coma state. And Harry and his friends are trying to figure out what's going on, who's behind the opening of the Chamber of Secrets. The third book is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And this is year 3 of Harry's time at Hogwarts. So for 12 years, the wizard prison known as Azkaban has held a prisoner by the name of Sirius Black until one day he escapes. And before his escape, the Dementors who guard the prison were reported that they heard him saying, "He's at Hogwarts. He's at Hogwarts," over and over in his sleep. So the people of the wizarding world think that Sirius is referring to Harry, and Harry has to deal with his own life being in jeopardy. Moving on to book 4, which is the Goblet of Fire. So there are 3 wizarding schools in the world that J.K. Rowling has written. There is Hogwarts, which is where Harry goes. There is Beauxbaton, which is in France. And then there is Durmstrang, which I don't remember, but I'm thinking it's Eastern European. And very cold. So, many years ago, all 3 schools used to do this thing known as the Tri-Wizard Tournament, which promoted friendship and unity between the schools. And each school would submit a champion and have them compete with the honor and the glory and the trophy at the end. So the magical community decides to start the Tri-Wizard Tournament back again. Now, Harry thinks that he is going to be able to watch this tournament with his friends Ron and Hermione, but there are other plans in store for him, and along with what he has to go through in this book, he finally finds a girl that he really likes named Cho Chang. So this is all about him facing these challenges during the Tri-Wizard Tournament, as well as him building his first relationship with a lady friend. Beside Hermione, she doesn't really count. A romantic lady friend, let's put it that way. The 5th book is The Order of the Phoenix. So, stuff happened at the end of this book. Bad stuff happened, meaning really bad stuff happened. And this book follows the ramifications of what is going on in book 4. So, Dumbledore has decided to recreate this Order of the Phoenix that was originally in place to fight against Voldemort. They are needed again to fight this dark magic that happened in this book here. And it's all about the Order, a lot of the book, but we also get into really dark topics. We touched on them briefly in book 4, but in this book there is a lot of loss, a lot of grief, coming to terms with maturing and with the cruelty that the world can bring, and how your friends and your family can help you through really difficult times. Okay, the 6th book, it actually has a spoiler on the back that I was trying to avoid saying, so I'm just going to go with it, and feel free to say it now because it's spoiled on this back of the 6th book. So the 6th book is The Half-Blood Prince. And what happens in this one is Voldemort is back. He is at his full power again. And people are trying to fight against him. But in order to fight an enemy, you have to know their weaknesses. So the headmaster of Hogwarts, Albus Dumbledore, takes Harry under his wing so he can show Harry the boy and the man that Voldemort used to be, in order to have him understand the monster that he has become and the weaknesses that he possesses. And then lastly is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So it just says on the back, we now present the 7th and final installment in the epic tale of Harry Potter. And I feel if you haven't read them yet, you really should try the series. I don't want to tell you anything about this book. This book is basically the battle comes to a head between good and evil. That's all I want to say about this one. The last completed series that I have to show you guys is these ones. I don't know the name of the series, but they came in these little cases. So the first one is Philosopher's Stone, and it is orange. It has a picture of Hedwig on the front. At least I'm assuming that's Hedwig. Next is Chamber of Secrets. They all have the castle on them. And this one is green. And there is Dobby. Dobby is a house elf. Oh, they have them on the back. I could just show you guys the back instead of taking them out. That would be much easier. So then we have Prisoner of Azkaban. Blue and red. And on this one is the Night Bus. Probably my favorite case, because it's orange and I love orange, is the Goblet of Fire. And they all have that little bookmark inside them that correlates to the color of the case. This one is blue, and it has, what does it have? The Golden Trio, which is Harry and his friends Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley. The Order of the Phoenix, which is blue on blue. And on the back, it has, that looks like Professor Snape, but I am not 100% sure who that's supposed to be. It's been a long time since I've read the Order of the Phoenix. The Half-Blood Prince. Is that Harry again? He looks mad. We're just going to go away from that one. And then lastly, the Deathly Hallows. And on the back, oh, it's Hagrid riding his giant motorbike that can fly. So in the series, there are 3 books that are mentioned that J.K. Rowling actually released. I believe it was to benefit a charity. I am not 100% sure. Yeah, so they were actually written to help Lumos, which is a charity that J.K. Rowling founded that is working to end the institutionalization of children. So the first one I have is The Tales of Beetle the Bard, followed by Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Quidditch Throughout the Ages. And they are known as the Hogwarts Library. And then there were some movies released recently known as Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and The Crimes of Grindelwald. And I have the screenplays in book form. That's Fantastic Beasts. And that is The Crimes of Grindelwald. Recently, Harry Potter celebrated its 25th anniversary, and they came out with these 25th anniversary editions, as you do. They're actually going to be releasing them on the 25th year that every book has been published. So far, they have released the first 2, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets. So I have the first 2, and I have them in the Gryffindor and Hufflepuff edition. I told you guys on Hufflepuff. So those are the first ones. These are the second ones. They are making them a little bit different. That way when the series is complete, they will alternate. I'll show you what I mean. So you can line them up on your shelf and it'll look like that and just make a stripe of, black and then the house color. So they have blue for Ravenclaw and green for Slytherin as well. And I actually found these on Book Depository. Okay, so lastly is the coffee table type books that I got. The really ginormous books having to do with Harry Potter. Oh my god, they almost all fell on my foot. So the first 2 actually go with Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, and they are exploring the film wizardry behind each movie. So this is the Fantastic Beasts, and this is the Crimes of Grindelwald, which I actually showed in what I got for Christmas. They are actually put together kind of like scrapbooks and show you a little bit of the behind the scenes movie making and stuff that was going on, how they got characters into development, things along those lines. I'm not sure if it is still running, but there was an exhibition on Harry Potter, and it was called A Journey Through a History of Magic, I think. Something along those lines. So they released a kind of companion guide to go with it. And it's just a collection of artifacts from the exhibit. But along with that, they also put out a history of magic. I think it goes a little more in depth than this one. I think they're essentially the same thing and both go over the exhibit. Okay, so we are nearing the end. We are nearing the end. They have been releasing the Harry Potter books as an illustrated book as well, which is really exciting. They are ginormous though, but the first 3 have come out so far, and they are illustrated by Jim Kay. This is the Sorcerer's Stone. Here is an example of an illustration. And then we have the Chamber of Secrets and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And then the very last book that I have in the Harry Potter collection is The Art of Harry Potter, and it just has sketches and layouts of how things were going to look in the movies and things like that. So here is an example of a page. This side is Ginny Weasley's dress from the Yule Ball, and then we have Luna Lovegood in her famous Gryffindor lion hat. And the whole book is just illustrations, which it's really great to flip through. I feel like I talked forever. I am so sorry, you guys. Like I said, it's a little extra, and I know. I trust me, I know. I'm curious as to which edition you guys read Harry Potter in. I have decided to stop. I am done collecting them. Beside the illustrated and the 25th anniversary edition, I want to kind of put it on hold for a bit. That, and I can't afford them anymore because I left that job, you know. I am going to make an exception, however, when I finally get far enough along in learning Dutch. I would like to pick up the pocket editions, I believe they're called, of Harry Potter in Dutch, which I'll show a picture right there. I just think they're beautiful. And when I finally master Dutch, I am going to treat myself to those, which is going to be way off in the future. Knowing my luck, they'll be gone by then. That's okay. I have a goal that I'm working toward. I want to trip to the Netherlands, and I want that Harry Potter edition. Makes me sound like a horrible person, but you know. There's one guy on YouTube that has so many, he has every single edition of Harry Potter ever, I think. He still is missing a few books here and there, but I'm just like, wow. Anytime that my friends say your edition is too large, I point them in the direction of that video. I'm just like, go watch that guy. He's got 2 whole rooms dedicated to Harry Potter. So there we have it, the Harry Potter collection. I am curious to know if you read Harry Potter as a child, an adult, or have not read them yet and don't plan to read them. Let's get chatting down in the comments below. If you've liked this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to become part of the tribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!